Hello and welcome to the classic Hollywood movie you should know. I'm Nate Washburn. This week the movie is from 1951, A Streetcar Named Desire, starring Vivien Leigh, Marlon Brando, Kim Hunter, and Carl Mauldin, directed by Elia Kazan and based on the play by Tennessee Williams. Now, Streetcar, it's one of those films that I feel like everybody's heard about or talked about or seen impressions of Brando shouting, "Stella! Hey, Stella!" And so people think that they know it, but don't watch it, and you really should. This is one of the best American films ever made. Set in New Orleans, Streetcar tells the story of Blanche Dubois, who is this Southern aristocrat debutante who has fallen on hard times. She doesn't have any money, she doesn't have anywhere to turn, and so she moves to New Orleans to live with her sister Stella, played by Kim Hunter, and Stella's husband Stanley, played by Marlon Brando. And the story progresses as Blanche and Stanley battle for Stella, and we learn more and more about Blanche's past and why she has come to be in New Orleans at this point in time. I mean, Streetcar, it's really hard to explain the story quickly and concisely. It's based on the play by Tennessee Williams, which was a smash hit on Broadway, won the Pulitzer Prize. Warner Brothers brought it to Hollywood, and used the majority of the actors from the Broadway production when they made this film. And it's a play, it's one of the most celebrated, one of the most honored plays of the 20th century. It gets redone, it gets remounted on Broadway every few years, it feels like, or off Broadway with some big celebrity, because these characters are so iconic. But the main reason that this film has lived on and on and on is the performance of Marlon Brando. This is the movie that broke Brando. This made Brando a superstar across America. He had been in the Broadway production, played Stanley Kowalski. He had been in a movie called The Men before Streetcar, but it was not a big hit. Streetcar exploded. Brando, he's so sort of raw and dynamic. And as an actor, I know and I understand the debt that we actors today owe to Marlon Brando, because he really did bring, quote unquote, it's referred to as the method, to the screen, is the simplest description of that, using moments from your own life and incorporating elements of yourself into the character, into the story. And Brando does that so well and in such a way that he will be imitated forever. Now, before Brando, yes, there were great actors who did things similar to what Brando does, incorporating real life and living these characters. But when Streetcar came out, Brando's performance just sort of shattered the way that old Hollywood worked. Actors such as John Wayne or Clark Gable, and the way that they performed, and it's almost like stylized versus Marlon Brando is real. And it sort of changed the dynamic. Brando was bold, he was new, he was raw, and it was just this monumental shift in Hollywood and in the acting world. Not only Brando, Vivien Leigh's Blanche is heartbreaking, and yet she has like this edge that you don't quite know what she's gonna do. Kim Hunter as Stella. You have Carl Mauldin as Mitch. Now, one of the reasons why these actors were so good is that they had played these roles on stage. Kim Hunter and Carl Mauldin played these roles on Broadway with Brando. Vivien Leigh played Blanche in London during the initial run of Streetcar there. When it became time to make this into a movie, they were ready and they were so good, and it shows. And this film was hugely successful. It was budgeted at $1.8 million. It grossed over $4 million in its initial run. It was a critical success as well. It was nominated for 12 Oscars, and it won 4, including Best Actress for Vivien Leigh, Best Supporting Actress for Kim Hunter, and Best Supporting Actor for Carl Mauldin. The one that surprises me is that Marlon Brando lost the Best Actor Oscar to Humphrey Bogart for The African Queen. Little trivia for you, Streetcar was the first of 4 consecutive Best Actor Oscar nominations for Marlon Brando. He followed this with Viva Zapata, then Julius Caesar, and then he won for 1954's On the Waterfront. So give a watch to 1951's A Streetcar Named Desire, if for nothing else to see the performances, to see the movie that broke Marlon Brando, that made him a megastar. It really holds up. The story is still shocking and powerful, and the performances are top-notch. Highly recommend it. It's this week's classic Hollywood movie you should know. I'm Nate Washburn. Keep watching.